Allison Joshua, and I'm discussing Joshua by Shirley Ann Graham. The story begins with a description of the Lower Coast, which is a land south of New Orleans. To the west of the Lower Coast is the Mississippi River, to the east is the Gulf. The people are poor and live on what they find in the river, swamps, and Gulf. Joshua lives in Bon Secour, which is the nearest town to the river's mouth. Joshua's mother and father come into the story immediately fighting. His mom is accusing his father of being scared, and he replies, "Sure, I scared. Everybody's scared." His father explains that he doesn't want to get blown up like Jesse Baxter. A U-boat shot Jesse Baxter's boat from a deck gun, and Jesse's boat was blown to pieces. A U-boat is a military submarine, and it usually refers to military submarines operated by Germany in World War I and World War II. And this is a picture of a U-boat. Since Joshua's heard the story of Jesse Baxter and the U-boat, he has had frequent nightmares. Joshua's parents continue to fight because his mother said that his father needs to go out fishing, but he won't because he's too scared. Joshua's mother said they need money so Joshua can get a coat. If he doesn't get a coat, he will freeze to death. Joshua leaves his house and goes to the bourgeois store where he finds Claude Bourgeois and other men from the neighborhood. Joshua walks into the store and gazes at the knife case. He finds one in particular that he really likes and says to himself that one day he will buy this knife. Although Joshua's father bought him a knife about a month ago, and that's another thing that his mother and father feuded over, because his mother wanted Josh to have a coat rather than a knife. In the store, Claude's son Henry tells Joshua that one of the freighter ships was sunk. The men begin to talk about Jesse Baxter, and Claude states, "You can't go living on bayou fish forever. There are other things you got to have money for." Claude then points out to the fact that Joshua doesn't have a coat because his dad is too scared to go out and earn money. That night, Joshua and Henry sleep in the warehouse, and once again Joshua dreams of the submarine. That same night, one of the submarines is destroyed, and the next morning Joshua goes home and his father tells him that he must go out fishing. Joshua convinces Henry to go fishing with him. They commence their journey and travel around a thick swamp. No one ever goes through the swamp. They go around the swamp, except for the blonde-haired man. The story goes that a blonde-haired man jumped ship into the river. He swam and came out the river above Bon Secour. A girl saw him and went to help him, and he killed her. People hunted for this yellow-haired man, and they could see signs of where he'd been, and they knew he was headed for the middle of the swamp. No one ever saw him again. In this story, I'm not sure the significance, but there may be a few explanations. Maybe she's emphasizing the theme of being scared again. It seems that everybody avoids the middle of the swamp because of this story. And then also she may be using the story to show how people of Bon Secour view yellow-haired people as outsiders, since most of the people in Bon Secour were African American. Joshua and Henry check the trout lines and gather fish. Joshua then tells Henry he wants to have a look at where the trouble is. He's going to keep on going until he can see the river. Joshua felt as though he had something to prove. In about an hour, they were down the river where it met the Gulf. The boy saw ducks, and out of the corner of his eye, Joshua sees something blue. It is a man with bright blue pants, a leather jacket with yellow hair. He's dead, lying face down, close to the open stream of river. Joshua begins to admire the jacket and tells Henry he's going to climb on the other side to get the jacket. Joshua fights his way over there, cutting his face, and turns over the dead body. Joshua takes out the knife his father had given him and cuts off the button of the jacket. Then he takes off the jacket of the dead body and puts it on. It may be interesting to look at how the man with the leather jacket got there. It's probably from the submarine that was supposedly blown up the night before. After their journey, Joshua heads home with fish in one hand and a jacket in another. He looks over Goose Bayou and realizes it is now dark.